Hello there, here you are with Dan in Essex, UK, and today I'm going to be setting a pumpkin plant in a compost bin. I'm sorry if it's a bit unpleasant, it's a bit blowy actually, and the wind may be hitting the side of the mobile phone, but if that's the case, sorry about that. So let's get on with the video. So about 6 weeks ago, something like that, I built this compost bin. You can check the video out if you want, you'll be able to find it. It's not too far back on the videos list, and it's basically built out of pallets and up against the fence here. It's about 7 feet wide and a pallet's depth, so I can get quite a lot of compost in here. So I'll show you the bin. There you go, so that's what we've got. So you can see the pallets there, look, on the sides, and you can see the fence at the back. I've got another fence panel in front of the actual fence panel, if you understand where I'm coming from, so that it doesn't rot the true fence panel, the boundary marker, because I don't want that. Now you can see the cardboard on top. This is actually the cardboard that the polytunnel came in, but there we go. So this is what the compost looks like. I've just wetted it a little bit, and if you look at it, it's really starting to mature very, very well. The majority of this is grass clippings from my grass cutting jobs. So you can see by looking at that, look, that's really maturing really, really beautifully in there, and it's actually very, very warm, indicating it's cooking very, very well indeed, and it's gone down quite a bit. So if your compost isn't rotting down too well, one good thing to do can be to wet it, because the bacteria needs this in order to function, to break down the matter and to make good compost. So that could be a reason why your compost isn't breaking down. So I'll show you what I've got here. Now these are pumpkins, okay, variety Big Macs. The seeds came from Lidl's. They're a very good price, grown them myself. You know, nice big mature sort of seedling now. I probably sowed these about maybe a month, 6 weeks ago, something like that, and this is going to be a very, very simple project. All I'm going to do is just mix this up a little bit, and I'm going to be setting it straight in. I got a bit of compost from further down, so that there's actually sort of like compost looking matter, if you will, to set in, as opposed to like sort of just grass clippings to look like. So all I'm going to do is just make a little bit of a gap here like this, and I'm going to plant it in. Now if your compost is too immature and nowhere near close to being made into, you know, what one could consider proper compost yet, what you can do is get like a little bit of ready-made compost from another bin, or someone could give you some, or you could buy some, and you can just put a little mound of that round like that, and then you can put your plant in. But I'm confident this is composted down enough already so that I can actually grow a good pumpkin plant in there. So very, very happy with the decision I've made here. So what I'm going to do is just get my water and put a bit more in like this, and as I'm doing this, I'm just going to wet this at the back here, because this is the sort of older compost, if you will, this side. So I'm going to be leaving this until probably, you know, the autumn, maybe like November, even into the new year, and then use it then to grow in. This is a long-term project. If push came to shove, the compost's a little bit lower, I could probably already use this and grow some plants in it if I wanted, but I don't need it just yet. There we go, so that'll help to give the plants some nice water to drink there in order to establish, and it'll also help the bacteria to break down the remainder of the compost in there. So what I'm going to be doing is lifting this up here and putting my clippings and leaves, whatever, shredded leaves, things like that. You want to, if you're going to put leaves in a compost bin, okay, you want to make sure you shred them to reduce the surface area, so it breaks down. Quite often when people talk about compost bins and them not breaking down, that's because they don't shred what they put in there. You know, they just chuck it in and hope for the best. And yeah, sure, it will break down eventually, but you don't want it to break down eventually. You probably want it to break down as quick as possible and get some good heat in there. But you know, there's lots of other videos on composting, so you can check those out if you want. I may make one of my own one day, but there's plenty of resources out there in those regards. So anyway, there you go. So pumpkin Big Macs, hopefully going to have an absolutely fantastic huge pumpkin come from this, so that I can make a lantern later in the year and from making the lantern, a nice pumpkin pie or something like that. Wouldn't that be amazing? So there we go. Thanks for viewing. If you like my work, please feel free to like, share and subscribe. See you next time, and I hope you're enjoying your weekend.